If you watched our earnest money video, you heard me say that when you put down your earnest money, it doesn't just go to the seller. It goes into something called escrow. And I promised we'd give this word its own video. Well, here we are. Because escrow is one of those words that gets said constantly in a real estate deal and nobody stops to actually explain it. It's the thing that's quietly protecting your money the entire time you're buying a house. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what escrow is, how it works, and why it's the reason you could do a deal with a total stranger and not get burned. Let's get into it. I'm Felix, the broker owner of Pelican Realty Co, serving the Pensacola area across Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa County. This is Real Estate Explained, where we take one word or group of words that get thrown around in every real estate deal and actually break it down so nobody can use it to confuse you. Today's word is escrow. So first, what is it? At its heart, escrow is simple. Escrow just means a neutral third party holds something of value, usually money, until certain conditions are met. That's the whole idea. Holds the money so neither side can run off with it, and only releases it once everyone has done what they agreed to do. Think of it like a referee holding the prize money. Two people make a bet. They both hand their cash to the referee, and the referee only pays out when the game is over, and there's obviously a clear winner. Nobody has to trust one another because they both trust the referee in the middle. That is what an escrow is. In a real estate deal, that neutral referee is usually an escrow company or title company. They hold the money and the paperwork for both sides, and they answer to the contract, not the buyer nor the seller. So let's walk through how this actually plays out when you're buying a home, right? It starts the moment the offer gets accepted. Your earnest money, that deposit you put down to show you're serious, is the first money that goes into escrow. It does not go to the seller. It goes to that neutral company and it sits there safely while the rest of the deal comes together. Then, while your money is sitting in escrow, the conditions of your contract is starting to get worked through one by one. The inspection happens, the appraisal happens, your financing gets finalized, the title gets checked to make sure the seller actually owns the home and there are no other liens out there, right? Escrow is basically the holding pattern while all of those boxes get checked off. And by the way, this in-between stage is exactly what people mean when they say the home that they're buying is an escrow. They just mean the offer's been accepted, but the deal isn't final yet, and the neutral third party is holding everything in the middle. Then you get to closing, and every condition has been met. This is when escrow, big part of escrow happens, right? Then you get to closing, and every condition has been met. This is when escrow does its big job. All the money comes together in the neutral account at once. Your earnest money, the rest of your down payment, your closing costs, and the loan funds from your lender. And then it all gets paid out to the right people. Okay? So the seller gets their proceeds, any old loans on the home get paid off, the agents get paid, and you, the buyer, get the keys. Escrow is what lets all of this happen at the same moment, so nobody hands over their money or their house and gets left empty-handed. So why does this matter to you? Let's hit both sides of the table. If you're a buyer, escrow is your protection. The money you put down isn't sitting in the seller's bank account, where you'd have to chase it down if something went sideways. It's held by a neutral third party under the rules of your contract, and it only moves when the conditions are actually met. That matters a lot when you're handing over thousands of dollars on a home you do not own yet. If you're a seller, escrow is what makes the whole thing safe to do in the first place. You don't have to just trust that the stranger is good for the money. A neutral company is holding those funds and following the contract. So when the buyer meets the condition of the sale, the money is right there and gets released to you. It's a reason a deal between two people have never met can actually close without anybody getting cheated. On both sides, this is where one of our agents keeps you straight, making sure the right money lands in escrow and that the conditions in your contracts are genuinely met before a dollar is released, and that nothing moves out of that account that shouldn't. Buying or selling, you should never be guessing about where your money is or what it's waiting on. A quick heads up, so you're not thrown off later. There is a second thing in real estate that also gets called escrow. That account your lender uses after you buy to pay your property taxes and insurance. That's totally different use of the word. So it's getting its own video down the road. For today, just remember this one. Escrow is the neutral account that protects your money while the deal is happening. And that's exactly why who represents you matters. At Pelican Realty Co, this is what our team does. We make sure your money's protected, your deadlines are met, and you never sign something you don't understand. Whether you're buying or selling, we explain every single piece of your transaction this clearly. Because of a confused client, we explain every single piece of your transaction this clearly. Because a confused client makes expensive mistakes, and we're not going to let that happen to you. So whether you're buying or selling anywhere from Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, whether it's next month or next year, reach out and we'll connect you with one of our agents who can walk you through it. Even if you just have a question, that's what we're here for. So drop any questions about escrow in the comments, hit subscribe so you catch the next word we break down, and we'll see you on the next one.